Hi everyone, I'm FM Greeno. Welcome along to episode 58 of the Greeno Tour, my FM21 European journeyman. We've reached the end of the 2027-28 season. I'm going to bring you the last game of the season today against Hamburg. Also, we take a look at the end of season review. And finally, we're going to check in with all of our old teams and see how they're getting on. So lots to get through. Let's get on with it. Let's start with our recent form. We were last together for that very disappointing DFB Pokal semi-final loss against Werder Bremen, where we really just didn't turn up. Since then, league form has been good. We have beaten Wolfsburg 2-1, a late winner even though we'd gone down to 10 men. We then got revenge over Werder with a 1-0 away win at their place. And the last game we have played against already relegated Fortuna Düsseldorf, and we beat them 2-0. Like I say, today we are away at Hamburg, and there's still plenty riding on this game. As you can see, we currently sit in 7th place in the league, and we can't be caught by 8th place Borussia Mönchengladbach. Only one game to go, they're 4 points behind us. So, as things stand, that looks like a European place. But it's not quite as simple as that. Werder Bremen are playing Borussia Dortmund in the DFB Pokal Cup final. If Werder Bremen win that, they take one of the European places, so there are only 6 places available in the league. Everything points towards a Dortmund win, but you never know in the cup, do you? So really, it would be ideal for us to at least get one place higher in the league and guarantee European football. Now, the way things are set up, theoretically, we could even finish as high as 4th if Leipzig lose and Hertha and Bayer only get a draw or get beaten and we win our game. A lot of permutations, all of which depend on us getting a decent result really against Hamburg. So let's go and see how we're set up for that game, see if we can make that happen. We're going to stick with that fairly familiar shape, the 4-2-3-1. Huang Zhao is going to play at right back today. Pinheiro has not been in the greatest form, so we're going to give Huang Zhao an opportunity there. Of course, he can play right back, can play centre back. On the right hand side, we're going with Lisi today. It's been a real mixed bag trying to find anybody to hit any form in that position, to be honest. So we're going to give him an opportunity today. Otherwise, it's pretty much the team you might expect. Gaëtan Moran is still out injured, so Smorgol will play in the middle of midfield. That's about it, really. Let's get into the game. So here we are, last game of the season, away at Hamburg, hoping for a decent result. So league form has been good recently, 5 consecutive wins, which has put us in a fairly good position, much better than I expected a month or so ago. Oh, unfortunately, Ongwene has picked up a knock right at the start of the game. I guess that means we're going to have to move Huang Zhao across to centre-back, and we will bring Pinheiro on at right-back. That's a bit of a blow that early in the game, though. Only 7 minutes on the clock. Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of this season, really. We've had bits and starts of good form, but some really, really dodgy patches too. We didn't perform as well in Europe as I expected. That defeat at Aberdeen was a particular disappointment. German Cup did pretty well, but that game in the semi-final was dreadful. So yeah, like I said, it's been a real kind of mixed bag. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I thought we'd definitely improved the team over the summer. Timo Werner there with a goal. Nice left foot finish. I think he's done well since he's come in. I think he's been a bit of a difference maker for us, you know. He's certainly banged in a few goals. He's had a better strike rate than any of the other strikers that we have in the squad. So I think bringing him in, even though he's on 110 grand a week, has been a pretty shrewd bit of business. Whether we try and bring him in again next season or not, I'm unsure yet. One player that we definitely have brought in again for next season is Mariba. He'll be spending his 3rd season on loan from Manchester United. Happy to let him come in. We're paying almost all of his wages, but it's less than 60 grand a week, and I think for a player of his quality, that's not bad without any transfer fee involved. So currently we're sitting in 5th in the table, which I think is pretty good. Not quite good enough for a Champions League qualifying spot, but you never know. Leipzig might slip up yet. We're level with them on points by the looks of it. It's going to come down to goal difference. Let's see if we can get one more before half time. Not like that, we won't, but Lejeune mucking about with the ball. Don't know why he didn't pick that up. We build again from the back. Batista Meyer to Mariba. Back to Batista Meyer. Beats a couple of men. And, well, that's a terrible effort. No, I don't think that was highlight worthy, particularly, do you? So we're approaching half-time. We've had by far the better of the game, it has to be said. And we go in with a goal advantage by the looks of it. Or maybe even better, it is better. Mariba has just scored right on the stroke of half-time. A minute and a half into 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Presumably that's stoppage time for Onguene's injury. The keeper flapped at that, didn't he? Mariba was there just to nod it in from very, very close range. And that certainly makes things interesting. I think the goal difference between us and Leipzig was only 3 goals. So, if we can pile on a bit more pressure in the second half, there's a chance we might pip them, isn't there? So, let's see what we're going to say to the guys. I think we'll just tell them we're pleased with their performance. Just keep them motivated, keep their, keep their heads high. And hope for more of the same in the second half. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this league table as we go through the second half, that's for sure. We have another opportunity here. Batista Meyer with a corner. Short corner into Lissi. Finds small goal. Oh, goodness me. That looked like it might have snuck home, but wasn't quite to be. 10 minutes of the second half gone. There's a couple of players starting to tire a little bit, I noticed. Priska and Batista Meyer. Going to have to keep an eye on them. Oh, we've now gone down to 6th place because Hertha are apparently winning. That's not so good, so we need to at least hold on to that position, that's for sure. I think it's time I'm going to make a couple of changes. I'll be back in a moment. So, 2 changes made. We have brought on Dennis Mann for what is probably going to be his final appearance at the club. Oh, we've conceded a goal. That's not great. But yeah, Mann is out of contract this summer, and I don't think we're going to be renewing that, to be honest with you. Not great defending now, was it? And Orestano has gone for Priska in the attacking midfield role. We've not made any other real changes to the team. Batista Meyer has a shot blocked there. Out to Browner. Can we continue this attack? No, he gets the ball taken off his toe. And that's the end of the highlight. So, like I say, we're down in 6th currently. Hertha maybe have conceded another goal because Leipzig have gone above them. It's very, very tight, isn't it? I can't make any more changes, of course. I'm just mindful. We do need to be careful that we don't actually concede another, because I don't know how that would put us up against Bayer Leverkusen, who are down in 7th place. There's no point us trying to chase that Champions League spot now, I don't think. We need too many other things to go in our favour. It's very important we try and hang on to that 6th place. Here's Batista Meyer. If we can get a 3rd here, I think that would make it a lot easier. Mann has a shot blocked. Back out to Batista Meyer. There's Mariba. What a finish! Wow. That was a very, very firmly struck shot right along the ground into the bottom right-hand corner, wasn't it? What an effort that was. Mann's effort blocked there. Orestano gets the ball. Batista Meyer sees Mariba. 20 plus yards out, and that is like an arrow into the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so I think I can breathe a bit more easily now. We have that 2-goal advantage again. Good performance to end the season here. I mean, 6 wins on the bounce as well. Without that, we'd have been right down towards the sort of 12th, 13th, 14th place in the table, and that would have been a lot more disappointing. So, yeah, pleased to come out of this one with a 3-1 away win. So, as we saw during the game, that result does indeed guarantee we finish 6th in the Bundesliga this year. Not too bad overall, but I was hoping for a little bit better. As things stand, all that does is qualifies us for the Europa Conference League. Like I said, we need to wait until the result of the German Cup final to see whether Dortmund win that, which pushes us up potentially into the Europa League group stage. Or, if Werder Bremen win it, we're in the Conference League. Let's wait and see how the German Cup final goes. Well, before we even get to see what happened in the German Cup final, we've had the end of season review pop up. So let's go and take a look at that, make our way through it. So the new arrivals. Gaetan Moran is probably described as the best signing. He gets a B rating. Only £700,000 we paid for him. He's a very, very good young player. I think that's a great signing for us. I think also Huang Zhao, Priska, Yacarino all did okay. Lisi for a free transfer, not bad. Same with Dumfries, gave us some cover and experience at the back. Timo Werner, I think, was probably our star signing, even though he's only a loan signing. But overall, yeah, I don't think there are any complete flops in amongst the guys we brought in. So, season results. We finished in 6th, only getting a C+. I think that's probably about fair. They probably would have expected us to do a little bit better than that, seeing as we qualified for the Champions League last season. But overall, kind of okay. So our biggest win, what a win this was, 5-1 against Bayern Munich, an Evina hat-trick in that game. Match to remember, Wolfsburg, a 4-0 away win. Thielmann got all 4 goals in that game. Pretty good performance, that. And the goal of the season, the free kick from Axel Brauner on the 8th minute in the German Cup, the very, very first game of the season. So, congratulations to him. Finance-wise, sponsorship was up. Broadcast revenue was up. Probably for the Champions League, I guess. A little bit more money from corporate. Definitely a little upgrade from the competition prize money. And some extra match day money. So overall, pretty good. Merchandise sales were up a little bit. We sold well over 400,000 shirts. Main reason for that, I imagine, having a decent player from China. Sold a lot of shirts in that market, I'd have thought. So here's the lineup. A 4-2-3-1. Pretty much as you'd expect. Gebhardt is the starting goalkeeper, even though he lost his place towards the end of the season. Brauner, Guevara, Onguene and Pinheiro at the back. Moran and Mariba in midfield. Batista Meyer, Priska, Thielmann selected on the right-hand side. And Timo Werner up front. Not a bad side. This right wing area was a real problem all season, though. So let's have a look at some accolades. Well, we didn't win any personally this season. Again, not an enormous surprise. Onguene, player of the season. Young player, Moran. Signing of the season, Moran, as we discovered. Goal of the season, Brauner. Top goal scorer was, in fact, Thielmann. 13 goals, but 4 of them in one game. So, yeah, not brilliant the rest of the season. And 11 assists for Batista Meyer. Club vision and expectations meeting. Let's have a look at this. So they want us to make the most of set pieces, high tempo pressing football, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team and play defensively solid football. Okay. Work within the wage budget. Well, we've done very well at that. And spend the original transfer budget, whatever that means. We want to qualify for the Europa Conference League and reach the final of the Europa Conference League this season. Wow. Okay. One final little bit of news from the German season. That cup final. Borussia Dortmund have indeed won it. A 0-0 draw even after extra time, but they went and won it on penalties. What does that mean for us? Well, it means that all 7 places for European football next season go to the league. So Bayer Leverkusen sneak in and take that last Europa Conference League position. We get bumped up into the Europa League. Pretty good news, that. Anyhow, I promised at the beginning we were going to go and take a look at how our old clubs have been getting on. So let's go and see. First up, of course, was our first job at Stirling Albion up in Scotland. We left them in the Championship, and as we saw a couple of seasons ago, they did get relegated down to Scottish League 1, where they still sit by the looks of it. They finished 5th this season. Mid-table, not too bad. Let's see who's still kicking around from when we were there. Afolabi, you'll remember we brought him in. Anybody else from that sort of era still around in the squad? Camwa, we brought him in. Cole McKinnon as well. The rest of the names, pretty unfamiliar, if I'm honest. They obviously had a little bit of turnover in players, but it has been, what, 5 or 6 seasons since we were there last? So I guess that's only to be expected. But still, they're in a better position than when we took them over. Of course, when we left Stirling Albion, we moved to Hungary, didn't we? And went to Budapest Honvéd. So they've had a fairly average at best season by the looks of it. finishing in 9th place, only a couple of places above the relegation zone. That's a bit of a problem for them, I guess. Things haven't really been going to plan. Still a good few names that we recognise even just here on this screen. Cesare Pogliano we brought in, and Gustavo Hamer came in on a free from Coventry for us. Let's have a look at the rest of the team, see if there's anyone else here we recognise. So Petri and Pal were youngsters who were coming through the youth team when we left. The rest of them, again, not too familiar. But, yeah, they obviously haven't exactly improved the side since we left. 9th place is probably not good enough. Our third port of call, and of course the last club we managed before we moved over to Köln, was Luton Town. You can see here they have finished 16th once again in the league. I think that's 3 seasons in a row they finished either 16th or 17th and just kind of snuck up by the skin of their teeth. If we go and take a look at them, they're managed by Scott Parker now. The Danish lad who was managing them before moved on to Bournemouth. Or was he Norwegian perhaps? Norwegian, I think. But a lot of familiar faces here. Let's go and take a little bit of a dive into their squad here. So, players that we'll recognise. And Juan Hernandez has come in and taken on that goalkeeper spot. Look at this kid. Proper decent wonder kid goalkeeper, I would say. He was out on loan quite a lot when we were managing the club. And then there's other players that we brought in as youngsters. Paul Zevallos. Look at this lad. He is a proper footballer now, isn't he? Still only 166 centimetres tall. What's that, about 5'5" or something? But he looks like a baller. As does Zhang Likun. I mean, this kid. Perfectionist personality. I mean, if I could re-sign him for Köln, I definitely would do. But I think he's probably out of our price range. You're at 38.5 million now. What an absolutely phenomenal player he looks to be. Others, of course, you'll recognise. Players like Vitti, Hickey that we brought in. Reece Nelson here as well. Down on the bench, players like Kumetio, Ikeda, Kiernan, Dewsbury Hall, Tyler Roberts. A lot of really good names here. John Mosquera, another kind of wonder kid. Coming on pretty well. Maybe not developing quite as quickly as some of the others, but a decent fullback. Yeah, really good side. And to have had 3 consecutive seasons in the Premier League, quite some achievement for them. And so, that wraps things up for this season. Been an eventful one, even if it has been a little bit down on where I really hoped we'd end up. Lots to do over the summer. There's a few players out of contract, like I said. Tafana, for example, is one of them. Dennis Mann, another. So a little bit of rebuilding of the squad to do. But we got a decent budget. We begin £78 million to spend. And we still got about £150,000 of wage budget kicking around. So, yeah, I think there's ways we can improve this squad again and hopefully kick on a little bit from this season. Of course, let's not rule out the possibility of moving on, though. There may be some big jobs coming up over the summer months. And if there are, we might want to put our feelers out. Let's see. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think it was good to finish up with a win, to get that Europa League football, and to have a look at all our old clubs and see how they're getting on. If you did enjoy the episode, please drop a like on there for me. It helps me get seen by more people, of course. And if you've got any comments about this episode, the season we've just had, whether you think it's time for us to move on or not, anything like that, drop it in the comments section below. I would love to see it. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click that button and come and hop on the Greeno bus. There is plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and we will see you back for the first game of the next season. Bye for now.